Welcome, deep divers. Okay, when you picture a cruise holiday, what immediately comes to mind?
hmm
Is it lounging by the pool, maybe exploring, ancient ruins somewhere new, dancing?
Could be anything, really.
Exactly. But here's a thought that might surprise you. Did you know cruise travel still only makes up this tiny sliver, like 2.7% of the entire international travel and tourism sector?
It's really small when you put it like that.
Yeah, just a tiny slice.
Right.
So today we're embarking on a very special deep dive. We're looking into the State of the Cruise Industry Report 2025. It's fresh from CLIA, the Cruise Lines International Association.
And CLIA, for anyone who doesn't know, they're basically the main voice for the global cruise community.
Right.
They focus on making sure things are safe, healthy, sustainable, maximizing the benefits of tourism, and pushing for net zero emissions by 2050. It's a big agenda.
It really is. So our mission today, let's unpack the most important nuggets from this report. We'll explore the industry's resilience, which is pretty incredible. Its global economic footprint. Who's actually cruising now and who might be soon. That could surprise you.
hmm
And, of course, how the sector is charting this really ambitious course towards more sustainable travel. Get ready for some eye-opening stuff.
Yes, should be interesting. That 2.7% figure you mentioned right at the start.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really compelling place to begin, isn't it?
It really is.
Because it's not just a number. It really highlights the huge, almost untapped potential there.
Yeah.
Especially when you think that the cruise ships themselves, they're less than 1% of the world's entire commercial fleet, yet they've shown such consistent growth over time. It sets a fascinating stage.
Exactly. And this isn't like a new thing. Looking at the big picture growth, resilience, this industry has proven its strength again and again.
Mm.
We're talking consistent, steady expansion over, the past 50 years, navigating all sorts of global downturns that really hit other sectors hard.
Yeah, they've weathered a few storms.
For sure. Think about this. It went from under 2 million passengers back in 1985 to nearly 35 million in 2024. I mean, that's some serious growth.
It's a massive jump.
Mhm.
And what's really remarkable is how that long-term strength kind of fueled this incredibly powerful comeback recently.
Right.
We all remember, 2020, 2021, when things just stopped. And the cruise industry faced, well, unprecedented challenges.
Understatement of the year.
Definitely. But the speed and the sheer scale of its recovery,
Mhm.
pretty phenomenal. Global ocean-going cruisers bounced back to 34.6 million in 2024. That's a solid 9.3% increase just from 2023.
Wow.
It really speaks to the fundamental demand, I think, and maybe the industry's agility, too.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more then. Who are these 34.6 million cruisers, and where are they actually sailing?
Good question.
So looking at the 2024 trends, North America is clearly way out in front, over 20 million passengers from there alone.
Yeah, dominant market.
And Europe follows, adding another, 8.4 million?
That's right. But, what's interesting is looking at Asia and Oceania. They have seen an increase from 2023, which is good news. But their passenger numbers still haven't quite climbed back to 2019 levels.
Huh. Any thoughts on why?
Well, it's just maybe different recovery speeds across regions. Could be influenced by, I don't know, lingering travel feelings, market dynamics. Could be a few
Makes
things.
sense. And South America?
They added just over 1 million passengers. So a smaller piece, but still
Yeah.
significant.
Okay, so with all these millions cruising, where are they actually going?
The destinations. Well, no big surprise here maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
the Caribbean, Bahamas, and Bermuda region. Still the undisputed champion.
Classic.
Totally. Attracting over 4 out of every 10 cruise passengers in 2024. Huge numbers.
In the Med. Always popular too, right?
Incredibly popular. About 1 in every 6 cruisers sailed there.
Okay.
So those traditional spots, they offer that great mix, relaxation, culture.
Yeah, the tried and true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I found truly fascinating was the big jump in the exploration category.
Oh, yeah. What's that cover?
Think Antarctic, Arctic, Galapagos, Greenland, Iceland, North Cape, those kinds of places.
Right, more adventurous.
Definitely. And that segment saw a substantial 21.6% increase in passengers.
Wow, that's a big leap.
It is. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are travelers actively seeking out more unique, maybe more immersive experiences? Getting away from just the standard beach holiday?
Maybe looking for that deeper connection, nature, less traveled spots.
Could be. It certainly suggests a shift, or at least a broadening of what people want from a cruise.
That's a really powerful point. It feels like the definition of cruising is expanding. And just quickly on seasonality, no shocker, Q3 is still the peak season.
Yep, lines up perfectly with global holiday seasons, summer breaks, that kind of thing.
So, pulling all this together, what does this evolving picture tell us about the future? Looks pretty bright.
I'd say so. The outlook seems really positive, and it's driven by some strong numbers on intent.
Okay.
Get this. A full 82% of people who've cruised before, they say they plan to do it again.
That's huge loyalty.
It really is. And here's the kicker for growth. 68% of international travelers who haven't cruised yet are now considering it.
68%. Wow.
Yeah. It means that already, roughly 1 out of every 3 international travelers has actually been on a cruise. That's a massive base to build on.
Okay, now this next point. This really challenged my own ideas about cruising. I think it might for a lot of our listeners, too. The whole youth movement idea.
Yes, the demographic.
We often picture, an older crowd on a cruise ship.
That's a stereotype, yeah.
But the report shows the average age is actually 46.5. And a really significant chunk, 36%, are under 40.
Quite young, relatively speaking.
Totally.
Okay.
And it says Gen X and millennials are the most enthusiastic about taking a cruise holiday. Something like 2/3 of all cruisers are Gen X or younger.
It really flips the script, doesn't it? It's definitely not just your grandma's vacation anymore.
Here at all.
And that demographic shift is absolutely crucial for the industry's future health. It does make you wonder, though, beyond just the numbers, what are the cruise lines actually doing differently to attract these younger travelers?
Good question. More tech on board, different kinds of excursions.
Maybe. Things tailored more for them. Whatever they're doing, the industry expects pretty robust expansion. They're forecasting 42 million passengers by 2028.
Up from 34.6 million now. That's a big jump in just a few years.
It is, and it's not just wishful thinking. It's backed up by a rapidly growing fleet of ships.
Right, let's talk about the ships. We're seeing strong, consistent growth there, too, aren't we?
Absolutely. For the first time ever, CLIA member lines went over 300 ocean-going vessels in 2024. Growing to 310 in 2025.
And the capacity, the number of beds.
That's going up too. Global capacity, what they call lower berths, will exceed 650,000.
That represents some serious investment.
Huge investment, over $10 billion just for the 11 new ships coming online in the CLI class of 2025.
Wow. Any examples?
Yeah, it's ships like the Mein Schiff Relax, Norwegian Aqua, MSC World America, and Royal Caribbean's new one, Star of the Seas. Big names, new tech.
But it's not all about building these massive mega ships, is it?
No, and that's a really important point. The fleet is actually quite well balanced. Over 70% of the ships sailing today, and those planned through 2036, are actually small to mid-size.
Meaning under 3,000 passengers.
Exactly, under 3,000 lower berths.
Yeah.
So this diversity in size means there's a huge variety of experiences out there, from the really intimate, immersive trips to the big resort-style ships with everything on board.
Catering to different tastes broadens the appeal.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's look beyond the brochures. What's really driving satisfaction and what other trends are bubbling up? Turns out, cruises consistently get higher satisfaction scores than other types of holidays.
Yeah, the ratings are impressive. Ocean cruises hit 4.2 out of 5, river cruises close behind at 4.0.
So why? Why is satisfaction so consistently high?
Well, the report points to 2 main things. First, the ability to visit multiple destinations without constantly packing and unpacking.
Convenience factor.
Big time. And second, the perceived value for money. People feel they get a lot for what they pay.
Right, food, accommodation, entertainment, travel, all bundled.
Exactly. Those are powerful selling points. And it seems to be working to attract new people, too. Nearly a third of cruisers in the last 2 years were first-timers.
That's up significantly from before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, it jumped from 24% in 2019 to 31% now. Shows they're successfully reaching new markets.
Interesting. And it's not just who is cruising, but how they're cruising seems to be changing, too, like solo travel.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely on the rise. 12% of cruise travelers sailed solo in 2024.
12%. That sounds like a lot.
It is. It doubled from 6% the year before.
Yeah,
And you see cruise lines responding, offering more single cabins, better pricing sometimes.
makes sense. And on the other end of the spectrum, multi-generational travel.
Still huge. Cruises are a top pick for families traveling together. Almost 3 out of 10 cruisers travel with 3, 4, even 5 generations.
Wow, like a floating family reunion.
Pretty much. Something for everyone, grandparents down to grandkids. It really highlights the versatility.
Yeah, it does. And while younger people are cruising more, we shouldn't forget the baby boomers, right? They're still a core group.
Absolutely crucial. They're the wealthiest retiring generation, apparently spending something like $157 billion a year on travel.
Whoa.
Yeah. often investing in experiences, especially with family. So while only about 6% of solo cruisers are boomers, most travel either as a couple or as part of those big multi-gen groups we just talked about.
Their spending power and loyalty are key.
Definitely. And it seems once people start cruising, they really get into it.
How so?
Well, a quarter of cruisers are now sailing more than once a year, taking 2 or more trips.
Repeat business is strong.
Very. And nearly half, 49%, say they plan to take a longer cruise this year than they did last year. The average trip length is now just over 7 days.
So more frequent and longer trips. People are also planning further ahead.
Seems so. 11% are booking a year or even more in advance, and travel agents confirm that clients booking further out.
That signals real confidence, I think. What about those niche markets? You mentioned exploration earlier.
Yeah, they're absolutely thriving. Expedition and exploration cruises are seeing explosive growth, projected 150% increase in capacity between 2019 and 2029.
150%.
I know. There are now around 40 purpose-built ships just for that kind of travel. And the luxury market,
Also growing.
more than tripled since 2010, went from 28 ships to 97 ships in 2024. They're forecasting 1.5 million luxury cruisers by 2028.
So premium, luxury, expedition, that's where agents are seeing the most growth.
That's what they report, yeah. It's like travelers are saying, okay, love the classics, but show us something different, something special too.
What else have you got? Yeah, I like that. And speaking of agents, they still play a big role in this digital age.
Surprisingly indispensable, it seems. Almost 80% of travelers say agents have a meaningful impact on their decision to cruise.
Why is that?
Mainly their knowledge and experience. Cruises can be complex, different lines, ships, itineraries. Agents help navigate that.
And satisfaction is higher when booking through an agent.
Consistently higher net promoter scores, yeah. It really shows the value of that expert advice and personalized service. Friends, family, and agents, those are the biggest influencers.
Interesting. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Sustainability. This is huge for travel now. What's the industry doing?
It's a massive focus. CLIA members are seriously committed to decarbonization. The goal is net zero by 2050.
Ambitious.
Very. And it's driven by advances in technology, infrastructure, and just how they operate day to day.
Okay, so it's a multi-pronged approach. What are the key strategies? How are they actually planning to get there?
Well, it basically boils down to 3 main pillars. First is technology.
Right, new engines, new fuels.
Exactly. Huge investments in new engines, new propulsion systems that can handle different kinds of fuels flexibly. We're talking green methanol, bio-LNG, synthetic LNG, even looking at hydrogen fuel cells, solar panels on ships, battery storage, wind power systems.
So a whole range of options being tested.
Yeah, lots of pilot programs, partnerships, trying these things out in the real world. It's not just talk.
Okay, so tech is one. What's the second pillar? Infrastructure.
Right, infrastructure. A big piece of this is reducing emissions while the ships are actually in port.
How do they do that? Plugging them in.
Essentially, yes. It's called onshore power supply, OPS, or sometimes shoreside electricity, SSE. It lets ships turn off their main engines while docked and use power from the local grid instead.
And that makes a big difference.
Huge difference for local air quality. Can cut emissions in port by up to 98%.
Wow. Is that widely available?
Growing. Currently, 33 ports around the world have active OPS berths. Think places like Halifax, Shanghai, Hamburg, Oslo, Seattle, Miami. And there are 24 more funded, another 18 planned or considering it, so it's expanding.
That's a tangible improvement for those cities. Okay, tech, infrastructure. What's the third pillar?
The third one is operations. This covers things like using digital tools better, reducing waste on board, cutting down energy use generally, and optimizing routes and itineraries for fuel efficiency.
So smarter sailing, basically.
Smarter sailing, smarter operations all around. It's a holistic view. But what's also interesting is their call for help.
Help from who?
From governments. They're urging governments to support research and really accelerate the development of these new renewable marine fuels and, crucially, make them available at scale.
Ah, so the tech might be ready, but the fuel supply isn't there yet.
That's the bottleneck. Getting enough green fuel is key to hitting that 2050 target. It shows this isn't just an industry problem, it needs a bigger collaborative effort. Makes you wonder, though,
Yeah.
given the scale, how realistic is 2050 without some massive breakthroughs? Both from governments and tech, it's a huge challenge.
It absolutely is.
Okay, finally, let's touch on the economic side, the ripple effect, the economic wake of the industry. And it's a big wake. The global economic impact hit an all-time high in 2023.
How high?
An incredible $168.6 billion. That supported 1.6 million jobs around the world and added $85.6 billion to global GDP.
Wow, that's significantly more than just the cost of the cruises themselves. And it's higher than before the pandemic.
Yeah, 9% higher than 2019 levels. It's a really powerful economic engine.
And it's not just jobs on the ships, right?
Not at all. Actually, over 75% of the jobs supported by cruising are generated by onshore activities, especially around the ports.
So hotels, restaurants, tour operators, suppliers.
Exactly. Think about it. Roughly one job on land is supported for every 20 people who take a cruise.
That's a strong ratio. Where's most of this impact felt?
Regionally, North America and Europe dominate. Together, they account for about 77% of that global economic impact. The U.S. alone contributed over $65 billion in 2023. Europe, over $55 billion.
So it's a major contributor in those key markets, and it really highlights the local boost too, doesn't it? People don't just fly in, get on the ship, and leave.
Not usually, no. The report found 60% of passengers stay one or more nights in the port city before their cruise.
60%.
Yeah. And over half, 54%, stay one or more nights after they get back.
Spending money locally before and after.
Definitely. And most of those stays, 2/3 of the pre-cruise ones, about 6 out of 10 post-cruise, are in hotels. So that's direct money into local hotels, restaurants, shops. Overall, nearly 70% of passengers add at least one hotel night to their cruise trip.
That really paints a picture of the broader economic benefits. Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive today, it seems the cruise industry is, well, maybe surprisingly resilient, definitely dynamic. It's appealing to a much wider range of people than maybe we thought.
Yeah, demographics are shifting.
It's innovating like crazy on sustainability, even if there are big challenges ahead.
True.
And it leaves this really significant positive economic footprint, both globally and right down to the local level. It feels like it's actively trying to redefine itself.
Moving beyond old perceptions, for sure. Carving out a new identity. It's definitely more forward-thinking than many people probably assume.
Absolutely. So thinking about all that, the push towards decarbonization, the different types of ships now, from ultra-luxury to rugged expedition vessels, the changing face of the passengers, what do you think the cruise of the future will actually look like?
Good question to ponder.
And maybe more importantly, how might all this change your perception of this pretty unique way to see the world? Something to think about. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive.
Yeah, hope it was insightful.
And we'll catch you next time.